Greetings out there, fellow reef people. I just want to share with you my newest modification to my tank. I have a 65-gallon reef tank, and I wanted to run the Aqua Illuminations Hydra 26 light above it, and I had some complications with that black piece of plastic that runs along the top of the rim. It's a bracer bar actually, and it cast a big shadow through the middle of my tank, which looked terrible. And after spending all of that money, I realized maybe this wasn't the best size tank to go with that flaw as far as I'm concerned. I know some of the other tanks have two bracer bars left and right, and they don't get in the way as much. But if they do get in the way, I recommend trying this modification out. It actually relatively cheap. It was my second attempt. My first attempt I used a piece of plexiglass. I was hoping to replace the black plastic with a clear piece of Plex so that the light could pass through, and it turned out being funky. I actually drilled holes. I cut out the middle bracer bar, drilled holes, put plastic, nylon screws and nuts through the top to try and anchor it together. I used an epoxy as an extra protective measure, and then it started coming loose. The epoxy actually kind of broke loose a little, so I had to come up with another alternative solution. So I had a vice grip on there forever, and I just kept procrastinating. I just didn't know what else to do, so I was looking for a thicker piece of acrylic or something to put on there, and I really went the wrong direction. So to make a long story short, I'll just kind of show you the modification I ended up doing this time around, and it's been very successful so far. So you can see I put these cables, and they're wrapped. The metal's actually wrapped inside of a plastic tube, and I ran these cables. Actually, you can see where I made the cuts, and I drilled holes to run those through. Actually, I had anchors. You could see the existing screw, the holes where I had the screws through, and I guess I could trim that up, make it a little prettier, but I just wanted to show everyone that there's no shadow being cast at all, which is really what I was looking for, and they stay pretty taut. But this only cost me $5 to set this up from Home Depot, and for the money, it got rid of the shadow. You can see the angle. It's not really bowing at all. You can, if you have a vise up on the top, you can see as you tighten it and loosen it, it really does have a lot of play. So I got it to where I like it. It's held up perfectly. They haven't moved at all. So just wanted to share that modification with you in case you're experiencing the same problem that I was. And I spent all this money on the light, and I couldn't angle it any other way on the left side or the right side. I tried putting it on the right side, and I ended up putting a few holes in the side of my, I don't know if you can see that, but I just put a few holes in there doing it, and it looked funny. It was never centered. So this was a great success. So just wanted to share this with anyone that's having the same problem that I was, and I hope you all enjoy your tanks.